everybody. It's Sarah here from Bliss Before Laundry. It's just before 8 p.m. and I'm really excited because tonight we're going to be chatting with Sheila Hill, who's a life coach and spiritual guide who's going to be coming to Bliss this fall in October on the 19th to the 21st. We have our upcoming Bliss weekend that I'm very, very excited about. And so she's going to be joining me tonight to talk about her workshop called Shift Your Shit, which is really fun. And I'm really excited to learn more about her and just hear about her story and hear about what she's going to be presenting at Bliss. So just while I wait for her to comment on the post and say hi, oh, there she is. So I'm going to bring her in soon here. I'll just quickly tell you about what Bliss Women's Retreat that we've hosted now 10 times. This is going to be our 11th weekend. Hello, there she is. How are you this evening?
I'm great, thank you. I'm awesome.
Yeah, good. So I was just saying to everyone that, and please do say hello if you're watching. Say hi. We'd love to hear from you. And I'm just getting my comment mode in the right spot here. And so tonight we're really excited because we're talking to Sheila Hill. She's one of our presenters at the upcoming Bliss weekend, which is happening October 19th to 21st. You're a Bliss newbie. You've never been to Bliss before.
I know, and I'm so excited that I'm getting to be a guest and a workshop facilitator on the breaking of my Bliss virginity.
Yes.
No, my friend
Definitely.
Steph has been, and I know that she's a great part of the Bliss community. Steph and I were friends. Well, we are still friends, but when she lived in Mississauga, we saw each other quite often. And I know that she has spoken so highly of all of you and of the event. So I'm no question in my mind, this is going to be a perfect fit for me, and I'm so excited.
Yay. Yes. Well, we're very excited too, and we're very grateful that you're going to be coming to Bliss. So let's deep dive into all about you, Sheila. I'd love to hear about, you're a life coach or a spiritual guide, but what does that mean? What is it that you do, and how did you come to the work that you're doing now?
So to answer the second question first, how did I get here? Just to give you a brief bio. So at probably about 8 years ago, I weighed about 80 pounds more than I do now. I was medicated for depression and anxiety. I was having panic attacks. I was married. My mom was still alive. And I was president of the PTA at the kids' school. My husband was an executive. Like, I was playing the role, and then everything bit by bit all fell apart. So I don't need to sort of weigh the conversation down with what all of that entailed, but my mom passed away. My marriage of 22 years ended. Rock bottom really became my new foundation. I know it's a very cliche thing to say, but I really feel like I lived it. And with that, I had to learn. Like, I got off all my medications and transformed myself from the inside out. I didn't do it completely alone, but much of the journey, as I'm sure yourself and many of the viewers can attest, that a lot of what we do of the hard personal stuff, we do kind of feel like we're doing it alone. So that's how I ended up becoming a life coach and a spiritual guide. Was once I came out the other end, I did go back to my original career as a financial planner, and hated every minute of it. It served me well in the time that it served me, but I was a new person now. Then I was a new person. So I left that, and I refer to it as God, universe, source. Left my financial planning career as a single mom, sat with God in my tears and my messiness for a couple of months, and just said, you know what? I need to put my journey, I need to put what I've learned, I need to give that back. I need to be able to help someone that might just be a few steps behind where I am right now. And that's where my coaching career began. And from there, everything flourished.
I love it. I love that story. And, just from experience, having done 10 of these now. I know that so many of the women who are going to be coming in October will find points of connection with what you just told us. There's so many similarities there to my own story too. And Gabby, like that was really where bliss was born out of, was us going through those, I call them like the grisly bits of life. Like with hindsight, they're actually really beautiful because there's all these kernels of wisdom and all these lessons that we learn in there. And I'm sure that you feel the same way. Like looking back, you can see why it had to happen the way it did. But when you're in the midst of it, sometimes it feels so dark and you just need someone else to say, like, I've been through something similar. And that often is, one of those catalysts for actually bringing about change. You must see this in the work that you do now with women all the time, right?
Yeah, it is. It's so incredibly rewarding. And like, just to backtrack to your point, absolutely, there is no question in my mind that everything that I looked at as being oh my fucking God, I can't believe this is happening, turned into be the most beautiful gift, because this version of me was what was born out of it. So I absolutely believe that. But yes, being able to either hold women's hands, let them cry, help them get back in touch with their divine self, kick them in the ass when they need that too. No matter what part of it is that I'm playing in that transformation piece, it is incredibly rewarding to meet the new versions of themselves when they come out sort of the other end.
Yeah. And I just love that you really have connected with and understand the spiritual dimension of your life too. I mean, again, so many points of connection to my experience and my breakdown and all of that. I mean, it was a very spiritual experience for me. So I really love hearing that, you've come out the other side of it all and really can understand how important it is to nurture that dimension of our life as well, and really find the meaning of what the soul or divine or source or whatever words one uses. It doesn't really matter, does it? Because we're all talking about the same thing, that dimension that's beyond our body, beyond form. Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So I'm so excited because you've got a really fun title of your workshop. We say expletives and swear at bliss. It's just more real that way sometimes, isn't it? So you're going to be talking to the participants at Bliss about shifting their shit.
Yes.
What does this mean? What are you going to be teaching?
Okay, so I am highly intuitive and very, very spiritual, but I'm also very, very practical and gritty, so hence the swearing. So shift your shit actually was something that is a workshop I've derived from the book that I wrote called Wake Up and Shift Your Way to a Beautiful Life. The workshop is going to be kind of like a big group session. Now, not to put fear into anyone, they'll only share if they want to share, and et cetera, et cetera. But I'll help them identify the parts of their life that aren't working. Through conversation and my own intuition, I'll be able to identify the why. And then we will be able to work through what behavior, belief, perspective, programming, whatever it is that needs to be shifted in order for them to transform themselves into what it is that they want to be, how they want to show up. Because truly and truly, this kind of transformative work is about radical responsibility, which is my own little phrase. Radical responsibility. It's about truly, really, really, really getting it at the deepest level that you are the one that's responsible for how your life unfolds. And that's the whole mind, body, spirit, soul, law of attraction. Like it's all of it. And I can work through and talk about all of those various pieces in the workshop. But it's about really understanding that how you show up in your life for you is a direct reflection of what comes back to you. So if we need to shift some of the shitty parts in order to create and evoke the change that's going to cause transformation, that's going to create relationships to die off because it makes room for more beautiful, fulfilling relationships to move in. It's about all of that. And I'm working towards making the workshop into something so tangible that the guests are able to walk away with like more than one meaty piece that's a realization for them and practical tools on how to change it.
Yeah, I love that. I love that that you've got both sides of you working there, right? You've got that spiritual, beautiful side that you can bring in, but also the practical, right? Because when somebody's sort of stuck, it's really helpful when people can kind of lay things out and say, but try this and maybe that, and make things really practical to people's everyday life. So I love that you're going to be providing some of those tools and some of that advice for women. I think that women are going to love your workshop, and I want to go to your workshop.
Excellent, excellent.
I'm really excited that you're coming. So if there's anybody out there who has any questions, who's watching, please don't be shy. Even after the broadcast, it's not a problem.
Yeah, I'll be
Sheila
watching
and
and I can make comments too.
Yeah, we'll pay attention. Yeah, to any questions that anybody has. So Bliss is a wellness retreat that we're doing October 19th to 21st. It's at Camp Kawartha, which is a beautiful facility in the Kawarthas, which is just outside of Peterborough, about half an hour from Peterborough. We've done it. This will be our 5th year going back to Camp Kawartha. People there take beautiful care of the facility, and we all stay in cabins. So it's a really lovely opportunity to spend time in the woods and enjoying the fall colors at that time of year. It's always gorgeous. We're going to cross our fingers that we get great weather, because there's some outdoor activities too. And of course, there will always, always be the most delicious food you've ever had. And what makes it extra magical is that we cook it together in community, which whenever it goes onto the table, everybody's so proud. And we've had a glass of wine while we do it and make it extra fun. So it's going to be a fantastic weekend. I'm so grateful to you, Sheila, that you're coming. Thank you for coming on tonight and telling us a little bit about you and telling us about your workshop. You're also going to be doing one-to-one sessions at Bliss, yes?
Yes, yes.
So I don't know if you wanted to take a second and just tell women what will happen in those. They're quick and dirty sessions, but they're an opportunity to work one-on-one with you, which is fabulous.
Mm-hmm. So it's more of an extension of the workshop. However, you don't have to have gone to the workshop in order to get something really tangible again from the one-on-one sessions. So with the one-on-one sessions, 30 minutes is plenty of enough time for me to tune into your energy. And with a little bit of conversation, I'll be able to identify what I call the wound is, that's sort of preventing you from being able to step forward in your life. So if there's been childhood trauma, if there's a relationship, if there's residual energy in your field that might be holding you down, then I can tune into that pretty quickly. We can identify it. If it needs to be shifted energetically, I do that on the spot. And otherwise, I can again give you some tangible, like quite often if grief is the issue, then I can give you some specifics on how to journal and process the emotions of grief to get that out of your body. So half an hour is enough time.
Yeah,
time's not real anyway.
Amazing. I know, it's so constructed. I know I'm going to enjoy my conversations with you throughout the weekend. Hopefully you and I can find some time to connect, Sheila, because I know I'm just listening to your story and what you do with people. It's so very similar to how I walk through this world too. So thank you so much for coming to Bliss, and we will see you in person in October.
You will. Thank you so much. Thanks, Sarah, and welcome to all
Sheila.
the Bliss participants. Bye-bye.
Bye, love.